Hey guys, welcome back to Marsha Speaks. So this is Marsha, and we are going to be reviewing season 7, episode 3 of the 100. So, like we all know, I'm very sad that this whole series is ending really, and I apologize for my glasses giving a glare. We shall see how it goes throughout the throughout the review. But anyways, so let's get right into the episode. I'm going to be reviewing as I'm watching, so whenever there's a commercial break, I will be reviewing, and then that explains why the episode or why the review might seem a little, you know. So let's see how this goes. Comment down below if you like this new setup or if you prefer for me to just review it the normal way. The episode starts off, basically they're almost out of power, and the guy is trying to, put duct tape on a problem basically, and get one of the rods that puts power into the Sanctum in the correct alignment so that it will actually power Sanctum, because it was like a light flickering thing going on. Unfortunately, he miscalculated, and the radiation that was coming from the power supply killed him and his girlfriend, who was a grounder. It's kind of feel like we're going way back into the original wordage, but that is what is going on right now. Initially, Raven is the one that put him in command to be over the power supply for Sanctum, and they know that apparently they're on their last rod, so they have to figure out how to fix this power supply. On top of Shedheda figuring out how he's going to stay alive and all that other good stuff. But I will say I am loving Gaia's new purple outfit. I think it's so cute on her, and it's nice and refreshing to see her in color. Because the grounders love to just be in gray and black and all that other stuff. So it's nice to see that some of the people are slowly acclimating to their new home. But we'll see how long that lasts. So apparently I was very wrong, because you really can't make the flame work again for some reason. It was probably discussed in the season finale last season, but I don't remember it. So yeah, so the flame is gone. It's nowhere to be fixed, and Clark and Gaia are resting and saying goodbye to their loved ones. In this case, Abby and the flame, because Guy specifically feels bad because she knows, like, hey, it's true, she's lying to the masses by letting them continue to believe that Maddie is a Hida when clearly this woman's not. This child isn't, because the flame is gone. So we see that Gaia wants to tell the people the truth, and maybe by the end of the episode the people know that Hida is no more. I'm kind of scared to see what happens, so if that's the case. Okay, this is why I always had a problem with Clark, y'all. Because she be playing too many games out here in these streets. She goes with Indra to Russell, because they don't know that's shit Hida, and ask him how he wants to die. And I'm like, for what? He has decades upon generations to be alive. You should have really killed him last episode, like he said, because that doesn't make any sense. He's gonna try to figure out a way to save himself, and instead he says he's gonna do death by fire, so they can't pretend like they're still civilized. If it was me, I would have just killed you on sight. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Why are we dragging this along? Why are we trying to play this out? I know for the plot it makes sense, but as a character it honestly doesn't, because he's done too much. Guilty, over with. Like, why are we playing these games? Like, you didn't do that with any of the other past. Well, you kind of did, but no, like, this doesn't make any sense. And right when he is saying that he chooses to do death by fire, he will be killed on the pyre, like he's a witch, the lights go off. So the generator is not working. It literally took them 2 seasons to destroy something that has been standing tall and kind of working, even if it's a twisted way of working for generations. Like, Sanctum was working pretty well, minus, like, Children of Gabriel. I'm talking like the physical structure of Sanctum was fine for years, and the 100 get there in not even a year in their time, and already destroyed it. Wow, what a destructive group. So we find that Raven and them find James, who was the name of the guy in the beginning of the episode, and he messed up and pulled the rod too fast, causing a lethal dosage of radiation to leak out, and they need to fix it. We see their bodies on the floor, and it's so horrible to see, like, the way the radiation has affected the skin. But we all know that Raven will fix it somehow. It's just ironic that this is happening because Sanctum has never lost power and is losing power now, which I think Shithead is going to be using as a sign that he is a true god and shouldn't be killed. Because at the end of the day, I think Shithead will make it to the end. At least an episode 2 before the end. I knew Gaia was going to, like, tell the people. I just didn't think that she was going to tell the people so early in the episode. Like, we only passed one commercial break and she already running her mouth. No. But she did in her defense, though. She did it after one crew said that they would not volunteer to go into the nuclear reactor to plug the pipes from the leak that will save everybody from, the core melting. And the only reason why they're not volunteering is because they want confirmation from the commander herself to volunteer. And since, Maddie's a child and Clark is basically her mother, Clark doesn't want Maddie to go in front of the people and ask them to basically risk their lives, because why would you put that on a child who isn't a Hida? To see the difference? But that is basically the reason why Gaia felt the need to run her mouth and tell the group that the commander is gone. I don't think it's going to end well, though. So basically, poor Gaia, she broke one crew. After finding out that the commander is gone, that Shithead would have been the person that was leading the group, Senketa crew, pretty sure I said that wrong, decided to leave and not volunteer. And after the main person, whose name is Knight, calls his people to leave, it basically has them back into being each individual clans that they were in before they became one crew. So this is so sad, y'all. The crushing defeat in front of, like, on Gaia's face was so horrible. And to have Indra say that faith is blind but loyalty isn't, which kind of agree with, kind of don't, but it does go back to the point that you had more faith in your people. Well, more specifically, it shows that Gaia was looking at the people for who they could be, for the optimistic side of human nature, which is what most faith-based people look at humanity to be. And Indra was more of the realist that she is, because she is a soldier, a general, and sees the people for who they are and the worst sides of them. So long story short of it, they don't have any more volunteers, and now they basically will be going to the criminals to ask them to fix the reactor. And that was an option in the beginning, but they didn't trust the criminals, and now they have to trust the criminals. If I were one of them, I'll be a little annoyed that all you see me as is my past behavior, not all the stuff that moved us forward to this moment. And they probably will figure out the only reason why Raven most likely is asking for the help is because nobody else will do it. And that's not exactly the best feeling, you know? So this is why you need an Indra in your life, right? An Indra in your team, because Indra says what needs to be said. We find out that Jordan has an idea to de-escalate the situation now that they've lost one crew, at least the majority of people that would make a strong enough force, and they really can't hold the believers, the followers, back if they truly try something bad. And Jordan comes to them and tells them that the believers are planning something and it will be happening before the execution. So he tells them to have Russell talk to his people to de-escalate the situation and let him die. If this was Russell, that would be a great plan. But since we both know that that's not Russell, it's a horrible plan. Every step of the way, Jordan has been used, manipulated to such an extreme, it makes him look naive and stupid. And I kind of feel bad for him. Like, it makes sense because he was only raised around his parents, nobody else. He didn't physically himself see and experience the dark side of humanity to kind of get his guard up. But I would have thought by last season, you would have got your guard up. Like, bruh, get it together. Shit hitter is going to use him, and it's going to be sad to see. And Jordan is making Monty and Harper look bad. Like, you are their legacy and you stay playing games left, right, and center. And I know my Monty, he was better than this. So why? It was only 2 more seasons, y'all. We could have kept Monty because Jordan's a fool and he's a child. Like, he not ready for these big games, okay? He's playing in a lake and he's supposed to stay in the toddler pool. It's not the same. On top of that, the criminals, after Raven has asked them for their help, and in return they get some Joju juice, I'm assuming alcohol, horrible return. You could have asked for better housing instead of alcohol, but whatever. The female leader of their group is saying that they're treating us any type of way, they're giving us the hard labor, they're giving us scrap, they're like letting us live in tents next to the palace to taunt us, and all these things. I'm like, they're doing all of that. It's really messed up. You were right, sis. Like, she had valid reasons. And well, the male leader of the group is saying that no, like, we've paid our time, we've done the stuff that we were supposed to do. Once this community is built, it will also be our community. Kind of sounding a little bit naive, but I see what he said. Like if you have your crime, you've paid your dues, the next thing in society is to let it go. Like, I did what you guys wanted me to do. I have repented and resolved my issues, and yet you guys are still treating me like criminals. And they give them the hard brunt work of fixing the cooling system for the core. I'm not gonna lie, y'all looking bad. And nobody thought to give them better housing. Like, there is no other space in the sanctum. Like, I get it, you know, there's too many people at this time, but y'all can at least make them huts. Like, we literally having them live in tents. They're not refugees. Well, they are refugees, but they're not refugees. Like, do better. And the worst part to top it all off is Raven. Raven has been the one that hasn't been in the past series, didn't make any like horrible decisions, but then again, she wasn't really faced with that much of a horrible decision compared to Clark and Bellamy and all the other people, and Monty and Murphy and all these people. So I guess it is Raven's turn to make the decision, to weigh the pros and cons. And for her, she chose to tell the prisoners that the job fixing the cooling system is fairly easy. It's not that big of a deal. It's gonna be away from the main core system, which technically is all true, but they don't know that that they will be experiencing radiation poisoning and exposure while they're fixing the cooling system. So basically, Raven lied to them. Come on, Raven. Do better. Okay, this is the ridiculous part of this show. Amori did her thing. She got the rods to go back in place. even though she only had 60 seconds to do it, and it took her literally all of those 60 seconds and gave me a heart palpitation, but she got it done. Now, we go to the sanctum, or at least the upper part of the sanctum, and they let Russell talk, and he's talking. I think he knows something's up, but anywho, he is telling his people to stand down, let him die, all the right words, and somebody in the crowd who looked like a believer yells, "False God," and shoots him. Now he has blood gushing out his body, people going crazy, chaos ensuing, but the thing that I don't get and doesn't make sense, make it make sense, y'all, it doesn't make sense, is that they're trying to save him. Why? Is he not executed to die? Why are we trying to save him and prolong his life when he's already executed to die? I don't get it. Is it because you want him to die at sunset? It's only a couple hours. What's a couple hour difference? So why are we giving him opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to, weasel his way out of an execution? His own people executed him, or is trying to. Why? Why are we trying to save him? It doesn't make sense, y'all. Make it make sense. I'm an idiot. This is why he did it. The plan was different, okay? This was his plan all along. Jordan was used as a pawn. They over here playing checkers while he was playing chess, and I fell for it too. Because the plan was to shoot him, because then you would have to save him. And the only reason why you would save him is so that he doesn't become a martyr. How can a god become a martyr? But okay, he doesn't become a martyr. And it's like just blowing my mind consistently how good Shidhida is to making sure he doesn't die. Because he can't die now. Because if he dies, Sanctum erupts with chaos and all the other foolishness. So he has to stay alive now. Like, they can't execute him at sundown. But my thing is, what did y'all think they were going to do when y'all originally planned to execute him at sundown? You see how, like, that doesn't make sense? Y'all originally planned to kill him at sundown. And now someone tries to assassinate him a little bit earlier. And now that makes him unkillable. Why? Why? Because it doesn't. It makes sense. But at the same time, did his followers not think that he was going to become a martyr anyways? Like, I don't know what I would do in this situation, to be honest, y'all. All I know is I'm tired. And I don't even live in this life. I'm tired. That's all I know. I'm tired. We finally got the nuclear reactor kind of fixed. Have to get the cooler to work, because that's the other problem. The cooler system is not online yet. So the core is still, the temperature of the core is still climbing. So it's really all type of problems, yo. Honestly, I just wanted it at this point. Russell has lived long enough. That's the conclusion that I've come. So the prisoners, the welders, weren't moving fast enough, apparently, for Raven's mind. And the temperature is ever increasing. Once it hits 1500, a meltdown pretty much is about to happen next. And she does, in my mind, the unthinkable. But let's be honest, it's the 100, so really nothing is the unthinkable. And tells Murphy to go give them nitrogen so they can finish welding the last of the cooling system. And they're only doing this because Amori is puking on the floor and she's basically knocked out. The weird part was, initially, was Murphy also was experiencing radiation poisoning, even though he was not one of the ones that went to the primary core section. So that just proves to Raven that the leak is actually happening faster than she expected. And they actually have less time than she believed they initially did. More of the welders are falling, they're feeling dizzy, they're throwing up. Well, they haven't thrown up yet, but they're feeling dizzy and they're like kind of starting to collapse soon. And Raven says that if she takes them out now to save their lives, everybody dies. So she makes a decision to keep them in there. But not only does she keep them in there, she continues to lie to them and say that, oh, it's not that big of a deal, you're just feeling this dizziness from the gas, this, that, and the third, keep working. Even though they already know that they're dead. Like, these people are not going to make it back outside. From there, Raven gives Murphy the nitrogen, like I said before, and he goes inside, and Raven locks him in there. She seals the door so he cannot get back. So she says, go be a cockroach, because like before, Murphy and Amori's thing is that they are like cockroaches, they will always survive. So Raven says, go be a cockroach, because he knows if anybody is going to make it, it is going to be Murphy, which is kind of true. But from that time, when Murphy goes inside, he knows like really he can't get out. He talks to Hatch, which is the main male leader of the prisoners, and he was talking about how they both have somebody they love on the outside, how they are going to, once they get out, they're going to be celebrating together, and they explain that they weren't exactly hardened criminals as per se, and how they got on here is because they were bank robbers and their last robbery turned left and they ended up killing cops, and then to ensure that they can't be caught, they decided to kill hostages. A sick, twisted plan kind of makes sense, but still wrong. And in the end, they still were caught, and now it was even more because more dead body counts are on top of them because they killed the hostages and the cops. And that is how they ended up being one of the Allegiance prisoners. And he dies. They finally fixed the cooling system, literally 1 degree away from meltdown, and the last thing Hatch says is you're welcome, because I guess he figured it out, because he must have felt the radiation poisoning, so he figured out that they weren't gonna make it, and by they he means him and his crew were not going to see their loved ones. And I think Murphy's gonna take that to heart, because you can see that they had like a little bonding moment, because Hatch doesn't really seem that much of a bad guy, stretching it, but yeah, like, I understand where she's coming from. Like, she couldn't trust the lives of everybody on the goodwill of these people, I guess. But I still feel like she should have told them, because then they know that they didn't have much of a choice. And like Hatch said, he has somebody on the outside, so he probably would have persuaded his crew to continue welding for their sakes, if not everybody else's sake. But like, Raven really did a Clark move, and I expected more from her. But then again, like, she really has not been in a position to make these type of hard calls before. So I guess like she's seen other people and she's always been the person that, oh, I've never done this, I've never done that. But now she can't say she's never done it, because she has. And that kind of sucks. So the girl's name was Nikki, the one that Hatch said that he had on the other outside that loves him. Nikki comes in because she knows that by now the plan of like welding the cooling system should be done by now, and sees the love of her life on the floor, goes on attack mode, and I can't say I'm mad at the girl, and like wipes the floor with Raven. Raven wasn't really fighting, but you get the idea. Raven finally fully understands what it means to live in the world of gray, and I don't know how that's gonna affect her in the future, but I think she'll be more empathetic towards her other crew who have been in the same position that she has been and made the decision that they made, because she cannot say that she's never been one of those people that didn't choose to save the person's life. Good character development, so I'll give them that. From there we see Russell. in the medical bay getting patched up. Indra comes and tells him that the execution is off because if he dies now, his believers will, destroy the sanctum. As a thank you to the woman who tried to, help them, she was given the privilege of coming inside and giving her god, sustenance. While everybody else is, focusing on Raven because Raven has made it to medical bay at this point, we see the girl talking to Russell, and it was all part of the plan. Like I said before, I called it. It was all part of the plan. And it was a really great move, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little annoyed that Jordan is so gullible. Like, every time he's around some female with a sappy story, he's over here telling everybody's business like he did last season when Priya or whoever, and he told them all about who Clark and the whole crew were. Like, he likes running at the mouth too much. He thinks he knows stuff when he doesn't. He's like a child playing football. Adult football. He's way out of his league and he doesn't know it, and it's so annoying. Where is Monty? That's all I want to know. Why did we have to let go of Monty? Because Jasper's getting my last nerve, and this is the last season. That's all I got for you. So my prediction for next episode, I haven't watched the promo yet, so I could be completely wrong, but at some point Clark is going to have to know that her people are gone, because she still thinks that Bellamy's out there. Her boo thing. She still thinks that Echo is still out there, and they are in another planet Beta? Yeah, Alpha? Planet Beta or Alpha, Skyring. So they're going to have to figure out that their team is not on this planet, that they went through the anomaly. So I'm trying to figure out who would have told, like, who's going to tell the people in Sanctum that their crew is not here. I'm going to talk about that so that we can converge, because on the season promotion, we see Echo dressed in whatever they were wearing in the other planet Bardos. So this story has to keep on going, and they have to know that eventually that the anomaly is actually a gateway. So someone has to be coming from the outside to tell them. That's my prediction. The other thing I predict is I still think Maddie's gonna be the one that figures out that Russell is shithead. I don't know why. I just still believe that. Either Maddie or Gaia, because Gaia has to redeem herself at this point. So one or the other, they have to be the one that figures out Russell is gone. So that's my prediction. Thank y'all for watching. Let me know what you guys think. What are your predictions? Do you think Raven made the right decision? Do you think Russell did play the game well? What do you think is going to happen next in the final season of the 100? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.